think we have important jobs, and we put a lot into it, and we get a lot out of it. And you know, a job is important to you because it helps to pay the rent and put the food on the table. And you know, that environment is where you do a lot of your socializing, you have some of your friendships. But at the end of the day, a lot of times I ask myself, you know, is my job really that important? Does it matter whether this company in Russia gets a loan from Bank Austria or not? And I'm sure some of you think the same thing. You know, maybe Jeff might think whether it's so important that a particular shipment clears customs on time or not. And Karen might wonder whether it's so important whether or not the state of California wins the particular lawsuit that she's working on at that time. Well, I'm very proud of Tony because his job really makes a difference. Tony's a social worker, and he rescues people's lives on a daily basis. Thank you. Come up here, Tony. Tony rescues children from abused situations.
Me too.
He's covered many different areas of social work, from geriatric to young children to family preservation. And he's a wonderful brother, a wonderful best man, and a wonderful best friend. Thank you, man.
How come he doesn't have a beard?
Let's have a cheers for Tony, okay?
Hey, Tony!
While he's pouring, I'll start to talk about my other best man, who's my other brother, John. Okay. There was a time when John was living in Minneapolis, and he was working for a new law, not a new law firm, but it was a new position for him, and the partners there were really testing him, and they were really pushing him hard and expecting immediate results with a very heavy caseload. And we tried to help each other out at that time, and I tried to help him start each day with a positive attitude. So I would give him his wake-up call at about 5 o'clock in the morning, every morning, and over the telephone I would play inspirational music. Like the theme from Rocky, or MC Hammer's Too Legit to Quit. And I think it set John in the right mood for the day to go out and conquer the battles of that particular day. And I hope it also helped you feel like you were not alone at that time. I just want you to know that you're not alone now, and I'm also not alone now. Come up here, John. This is my other best friend, my other best man, John Darling.
Hey, John.
Cheers.
Cheers.
There's one more announcement. In case you haven't noticed, Judy's pregnant. That's not the announcement, though. We're expecting a baby in the middle of January, and we've already selected a few names for the baby. And if it's going to be a boy, we've decided that we're going to honor my godfather. He's with us today. He's from Anthony, New Mexico. And, you know, when we were children, we grew up in Anthony. And my father and my mother and the whole family made basically friendships throughout the community. And one friendship was especially important to us, and that was with the Enriquez family. As young children, we used to love to go to the Enriquez's because they had little ponies and calves, and we could play cowboys and cowgirls. But we also felt their warmth, their hospitality, their love, and we never left with empty bellies when we visited the Enriquez's, that's for sure. Milo, please come on up here. And so, you know, with Milo, his name is Emilio Enriquez, but we called him Milo. And come on over here, Milo, right over here. No, not yet, I'm not finished yet. I've always known that Milo is an important part of my past and part of my roots, and I know that he's always there for me if I ever need him. And he's a strong family man, he's a farmer, and he works hard and earns an honest living. And those are the kinds of characteristics we want to pass on to our children. And so we want to honor Milo and our young baby by calling him Emilio, and we'll call him Milo as a nickname. That'll be his middle name. We still haven't decided on the first name, but we've got a few months left. So,
We've had a lot of suggestions, but
thank you, Milo. Cheers. Oh.
Cheers. What an honor. You know, Rummy, I just want to say a few words. I just want to say that when just coming up here, my mother, my sisters, that all knew Brummy, and the Darling family, they send their regards. They couldn't be here. But You know, I was about a ninth grader, and this was many years ago. This is over 40 years ago. In fact, Judy, I knew Brummy when he didn't have hair, and now it's full circle. Miss Dr. Darling was my athletic coach. I was in junior high then, and he had a vision. He says, "Hey," he called me up one day and he says, we're having a child. Would you like to be the godfather?" And I said, "Well, gee, that was," I said, "well, certainly." And it's just been, it's just a family that we have enjoyed for many, many years. I think the Darlings like those enchiladas. Every Sunday they were up there at Mother's and Dad's house. So they've been with us a long, long time. And Judy, I think you got an outstanding man there as your husband. And we're very, very proud of both of you. Thank you.
Milo.
We're looking forward to really out farm and eating chilies. He grows chilies,
Among other things.
which you know I hate.
So a little bit later, we're going to have a similar ceremony for the bridesmaids. And then after that, we're going to do a cake cutting ceremony. And that's the time when if anybody wants to stand up and say a few words, you're welcome to. So please, the buffet is still open. There's still lots of drinks and champagne. And the video will keep running.
Thanks. Okay, I'm also being a little bit untraditional. I'm having 3 maids of honor, no bridesmaids. And if they could have been at our ceremony in Alaska, they would have been there as a maid of honor, but they're going to be the maids of honor today. I actually would have had 4 maids of honor. There's 1 maid of honor who's not here. That's my sister, Christy. She could not be here today, but some of the rest of her family are Kimberly and Daniel, who are my niece and nephew. So I'm really happy to have them here. And my first maid of honor, who I'd like to introduce, is Kimberly Kaplan, my niece.
Hey, Kimberly.
Kimberly and I went long periods of time without seeing each other. I think I met her when she was a little baby, maybe a few months old, and then I didn't see her again until she was about 4, and then I didn't see her again until she was about 10 or 11, and part of that was because I was either traveling or living out of the country, or we were living on opposite coasts. She was born in Denver and lived in Florida, and finally, in the last few years before I moved to New York, we finally lived within 50 miles of each other. And in the last couple of years, Kimberly and I have grown really close, and I've gotten to know her, and in a lot of ways she feels like a daughter to me, and she reminds me a lot of myself when I was her age. She wanted to be a psychologist. That's what I used to think I wanted to be. I didn't turn out that way, but and it's just a great joy to have Kimberly in my life, and I'm looking forward to, within the next year or so, living closer to her again and spending some of her teenage years with her.
Kimberly has a few words she'd like to share with us.
What is marriage? If I were to ask each of you, I'm sure you'd each give me different answers. Marriage means different things to different people. To me, marriage symbolizes a road. You do not journey on this road alone, but with your lifelong partner. The bricks and concrete foundation of the road consists of trust, loyalty, honesty, intimacy, caring, understanding, and unconditional love. And the commitment and to each other and the marriage vows you make are what hold the road together. Traveling on the road, you may stumble on some jagged rocks or take a wrong turn. With teamwork and determination, all obstacles that dare to stand in the way will be triumphantly overcome. As you travel further down the road, you will leave monuments behind. They will stand tall, representing lessons you learned, memories you shared, and things you have done. Today we celebrate and rejoice for 2 beautiful people, Judy and Ben. They have taken their first steps of many on their magical and lifelong journey down the road they will build together. like Judy was saying, about 2 years ago, I was over at her house, and I just started getting to know her, and she told me she was seeing a guy named Brett. Well, he called and was saying hi. She asked if I wanted to say hi. I had no idea what to expect. She hadn't told me much about him. I was a little nervous. And I remember I was thinking, well, was he a businessman? Maybe someone she met in a foreign country? Well, after talking to him about a minute or so, I couldn't help but laugh. I thought Judy was dating a 20-year-old, long-haired, baggy pants, 80s surfer dude. His vocabulary consisted of, yeah, man, radical, tubular. For those of you wondering if we're talking about the same Brum, it turns out he just was a little nervous and trying to make a good impression on your brother. And he did just that. That conversation told me he was a very sweet guy and just perfect for Judy. The next day, while Judy was at work, he called again and told us some great tricks to play on Judy. I thought she'd just be thrilled with our humor. She walked in, arriving home from work, and Daniel and I innocently said, well, why didn't you come outside? We have something to show you. Okay, but I don't know, she replied. The moment her hand touched the door, me and my brother started cracking up. Her hand was covered in gluey Vaseline. I had also taken the liberty of folding her bed sheet up so her feet would be uncovered and very cold at night.
My sister Mary taught me that one.
Aha, I thought I got her good, I thought. Of course, it turned out I slept in that bed that night. This summer I'll be going out to New York. I'm very excited, and they'll have their baby by then. I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to that. And me and Judy will think of some good tricks to play on Brad.
Okay, my next maid of honor is my sister, Patrice. And I'm happy that finally Patrice can be in my wedding and be a part of the ceremony. And Patrice and I have gone through periods of time where we're living far apart, usually because I'm living somewhere else. And then we were lucky enough to be able to live in San Diego together for a couple years and did a lot of things together. And throughout the years, I consider that we've maintained a close friendship as sisters. And I'm also looking forward to being closer to her again as well. And probably with my new baby, she'll be a great help because she's a nurse. She has one of those meaningful jobs. And I'm really happy to have her here today, and looking forward to living closer to her in the near future.
Well, I just can't say how happy I am that Judy and Brum have tied the knot. I spent a week out in New York with the two of them, right when Judy first moved out there. And I just thought that they were very compatible and perfectly suited for each other. And I'm really happy that they decided that too. And I only want to say that if they want my free babysitting services, they're going to have to move a little closer to San Diego.
Thank you.
Okay, and my next maid of honor is one of my very beloved friends who I've been through in thick and thin and spent a year traveling with in Europe, and that's Kitty Carey.
Come on, Kitty.
Kitty and I, again, with all the time apart and the different places we've both lived, we've managed to keep in touch, and every time we see each other, it's like we were just together yesterday. I met Kitty in Santa Barbara about 15 years ago now, and our friendship gelled right away. We had a great time, and Kitty and I actually spent a summer together in Alaska. And when I went back to Alaska to get married to Brum, there were a lot of great memories coming back of the time Kitty and I spent up there. And I know that Alaska also to her is a very special place. It's got a special place in her heart. And I wish that she could have been there with us, but actually she came real close to being there, but it didn't quite work out. But I'm happy to say that Kitty can be here today, and that one of these days I'm also going to live closer to her too.
One day soon, I hope. As Judy said, we did meet 15 years ago. I had just come to Santa Barbara. I was from Kentucky and talked kind of like this back then, and we met in Joe's Cafe. I hear this Captain Hook across the room, and she's yelling to my date. So we it turns out they had met at a costume party, and Lena was just reflecting on that. Judy was the Girl Scout at that time. But, I never saw Captain Hook again, but Judy and I became... Judy is my best friend. She showed me the ropes in California, took me sailing in San Diego with Dan, hiking in Yosemite, took me to Mexico, taught me to drink tequila, all the important things in life. But actually she did teach me a lot of important things in life, and we traveled together, and it's just great when your best friends meet someone and you're just happy they're together, and just so happy for you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much.
Okay, well, should we have a toast?
Okay, we'll have a toast.
More toast.
Okay, let's have a toast to the Maids of Honor.
All right. Okay, we're going to run the video a little bit more. We're selling tickets to that video, I tell you.
And there's still plenty of food.
That's right, so please, we
The
don't
food
want
was
to take any
out of this world, you guys.
One of these days.
You ready? One, one, two, three. Everybody tell you that. Oh, I know what it is.
I should have thrown it out. Mr. Brothers. Mr. Brothers. Three brothers.
That's called a shot glass.
Oh yeah, do that one. Mary, remember that one? Well, you're one of them.
Yeah, get in here, you. Come on, freeloader. Freeloader.
Okay, everybody, make all your goofy faces like you did before. Ready? Come on, Mike, you gotta do something really stupid. Just look normal, Mike. 1, 2, 3. Great.
Judge, get in here. Taylor, Judge, come here. Dennis, you too. Dennis.
We gotta look good, Dennis.
It's really hard for you to look silly, but you gotta try. Joel, come on, get in there. Get in there, Joel. Joel, join him.
Yeah, Joel, get in here.
Get in there.
Oh, we gotta get Ben.
Milo. Get Milo.
Where's Devin?
Milo, you gotta get in there too. Young man. Oh, look at that. Is Judy around you taking pictures? 1, 2, 3.
No, don't. I want one normal picture.
Did you really?
Let's be hard.
Are you taking it?
I know.
Yes, right.
I've got it under the seat. 1988.
1, 2, 3.
Sam.
You? I'm not ready to commit to take on this project. And if I do try and coordinate it, then I need a lot of help from a lot of other people. And some of the ideas that I have, you know, in the beginning sort of the video, split into kind of thirds. In the beginning of it, talk about her roots and how she's Irish, and talk about some of the things that the Irish went through when they came to the United States and how she settled in southwestern New Mexico. And then sort of the middle part of the video, I had an idea for a little bit of animation. So if you can picture like a tree, a fairly small tree in the beginning, but it grows, and that's the family tree. And so you have that tree, and then you have a stork sort of flying across the top of the screen with a baby in it. And so, you know, maybe Libby would be the first baby, or maybe we could start with, you know, Martha or something like that. So the stork gently drops Libby, or the baby, and it says Libby on the diaper, so you know who it is. Drops it into the tree, and then another stork gently comes across, and then slowly but surely more and more and more. And you see a whole bunch of storks, like a fleet of storks coming across, dropping babies into this tree, and the tree is growing like that. And then slow down, and then one solitary, struggling stork coming across with the baby, and around the baby is the Petone Award, and that's for Katie. Because when, exactly, yeah. So then Katie drops in, and then some more storks drop in with the other great-grandchildren.
Bombs away.
And then towards the last third of the video, kind of what I have in my mind, is everybody gets a chance to make their contribution. And I don't know if that's like a 1-minute contribution or 10-minute contribution or 3-minute or whatever, but you all get to decide, okay, this is what I want to be on the video. And maybe it's a picture of yourself, a still picture with music background, or maybe it's your own home video in your living room, or maybe it's something that you want read, voiceover, you know, there's all kinds of things you can come up with. And that's kind of what I was thinking about. I just wanted to share that with everybody.
I think it's a good
I think we know somebody to help us with the animation too.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, here's the page on it, right?
Looks good.
Looks good. All right, take some pictures and contact my home page.
Okay.
Come on in, we'll take pictures. Right?
You don't want white?
Well, no.
No, I don't. No, I didn't.
So what we did,
I wanted cafe.
comes out, let's go.
I got cafe.
I don't know, we're taking a family picture. You look good. Go. Come on, Bridget.
Hey, Marianne, why don't you get Adam to take it so you can be in the pictures here? You want to take a few shots for us, bud? Thank you.
Oh, am I supposed to be in there?
Hold on, Otto. No,
Or is
these
that
are
like your
Ryan's.
family?
Oh, no, you're in now. Come on, girl.
I see her. It's just family. I'm not family.
I forgot you got a wedding ring.
Okay. 1, 2, and then your shoot.
Yeah, this is part of that whole place too.
I think we're doing it great.
It's a contest for grade 2, 4th, and
I think you guys do that one again. Nice and easy. Stop, stop, stop. Nice and easy. Okay, no more. No, listen, nice and easy.
Kelsey, that's enough.
Good job, good job.
John, start counting and screw 'em up. Start counting and screw 'em up. Counting and screw up their counting.
So happy for you.
Kelsey, no more. Kelsey, no more.
Sit by Scott. Boy, the birds are going to have a feast just like we had one today. Okay, once again, thanks to everybody for coming. I think now there are a few people that would like to say a word or two. Do we have any volunteers?
For what?
Adam Taylor, go first. Okay, Adam Taylor up front. Okay. Front and center, Adam.
Well, hopefully they'll bring my booze soon.
You're bringing it.
John asked me to say a few words because I'm really the only rational, not objective person here, not necessarily related to the family. I don't have to say anything nice, frankly. I've known David. I actually was thinking this morning, it's coming up to like 15 years, I think, that we first met back at CU in undergrad, where we played a lot of Frisbee in front of B School. In fact, that's what both our majors were.
Frisbee.
I was always a lot better than David. Although you won yesterday.
That's true.
But he's a great guy. But I thought what I'd do is really, share with you accuracy about David. Data, real evidence, facts. And what I did is I went back and sort of thought about some of the experiences and the phases that I've seen David go through. And the first phase was sort of the college days, and I think that's sort of his experimental phase. He had a lot of exotic activities. If you know what I mean, I won't go into any details here. It's a G-rated audience, but I experienced a few of those days with David, and he's turned out to be a pretty good guy. A few less brain cells, but a good guy nonetheless. Second phase has really been his career phase, and I've watched Dave go through a lot of sort of amassment, and this is an area where he's continuing from his job in Germany, where he first got into the banking venture, and then he's just been...
Adam got me my first job, by the way, in Vienna, Austria.
Oh, he paid me a lot of money too. And he's just done so well with his career, and at that point he was sort of so far ahead of all of our peers that he was sort of a big brother in that kind of career mentoring world, and he's helped me out a lot in that area. His next phase is really the family phase, and it's just getting kicked off, and I'm proud to see, but I'll go into that in just a second. I've got like 40 minutes, right? I just wanted to say a couple of sort of general themes on David. First, he's extremely compassionate. And I have one simple story to demonstrate that by. I got married about 6 years ago to Alita, my beautiful wife in the back. And she's standing up. Put your clothes on, honey. And the night before the wedding, we had this big bachelorette party where I had a bunch of friends, and we just had a really fancy dinner. Friends showed up from LA and started buying kamikazes, and I got totally hammered and just lost all sense of control. Of basically they had to pour me in a cab, went home. And about 3 o'clock, I started the puke fest. And it was bad. I was sick from 3 a.m. to about 7 a.m. And David was spending the night in my apartment. And in the morning, I was just still continuing sick. And I was supposed to get married at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I didn't care about it. I didn't want to get married. I didn't want to think about anything. I just felt horrible. David was such a great guy. Didn't bother me, no lectures. He got me a little bit of breakfast, didn't want that. Got me some vitamins, that was better. He's a really good friend, and at time of need, he shooed people away when I didn't want to deal with anything, and ended up getting me there on time. He's a great guy to be there with you if you're ever sick. Second thing, he's
Thank goodness Judy's missed all the morning sickness.
Second thing, he's an amazingly giving guy, and I think all of you in the family and friends know that well with David. I don't know anybody who's as giving as he is, and he's been with a couple of family vacations. I do a yearly trip to Lake Powell where we water ski, David's come a couple of times, and he's the only guy in the boat that's consistently there to cook and clean and fix things when they get broken and talk to everybody in the boat. In fact, my in-laws now always want to know, well, is David coming? No, even if I'm not coming, they say, well, can we call David? Have him come. He's a really good guy. Third real big thing about David, he's analytical. He's a real A-type. And I think that's best demonstrated by his the side of his Judy sort of phase. He called me up one day and said, well, I'm moving in with a woman. He said, I've got a 6-month work-back schedule. The first 2 months, we'll understand compatibility. The next 2 months, we'll be true friends. And the last 2 months, we'll have a future together. And I thought, Dave, do you need the spreadsheet? Do you need the software program? But hey, it worked out fine. But more than anything, I found that Dave is just a really great friend. And he's the kind of guy that if you ever had a problem, you could call him up for any time, anything, anyone, and he'd probably come to your rescue. So to the beautiful bride and groom, congratulations. Thank you, Adam.